Now, before we get rolling to what I really wanted to talk about on this episode of the show, we got to kick it down to Kentucky real quick, where we've got some trouble brewing down there in Lexington. All right, so the word out of Lexington here, Chris Rodriguez, all SEC, potentially all-American running back, who's on pace to shatter the all-time Kentucky rushing record. Status up in the air. I've been trying to reach out to people. Cannot get a definitive word one way or another. Chris Rodriguez may not be on the team. And apparently this got nothing to do with... he recently got in trouble, missed his court date. There was some, they're blaming it on the lawyers and all this. This is not even related to that, apparently. So, man, I don't exactly know what is going on up there in Lexington with Chris Rodriguez. I'm going to try to reach out to a guest maybe to have him on the show, break down the situation for us. But here's what Nick Roush, Kentucky Sports Radio, recently wrote. Actually, this comes from Matt Jones. Should Rodriguez stay on the team, a suspension would be almost certain, and it's likely to keep him out of the Week 2 matchup against the Florida Gators. So, man, things are trending poorly here for Chris Rodriguez in a Kentucky uniform. And again, going back to what I said already, that game in Gainesville, such a pivotal game for Kentucky. You have to beat, if you're going to contend with Georgia, you got to be able to get teams like Florida and Tennessee. Unfortunately for the Kentucky Wildcats, both those games on the road, but that's why you need, your stud running back here to carry you in games like this, and he may not be around, so we'll continue to monitor the situation. And then it gets even worse because the transfer from Alabama they were counting on, Javon Baker, no longer going to be a part of the team for the upcoming season. Now, Baker was not there for spring, so, this is kind of a weird situation where you can't really say this is a subtraction because he was never really added onto the team, but he had previously announced that he was transferring to Kentucky. We'll throw up some Instagram tweets and some Instagram messages Baker had over the weekend. It certainly seemed like this, he kind of got blindsided here. He expected to be a Wildcat. I'm not really sure what the hell's going on here, but, this is a top 100 prospect, a guy that went down to Alabama, and, there was high hopes for him in this offense this season. Now, they ain't got him. And of course, they lost Wan'Dale Robinson and Josh Ali. Their 1-2 punch on the outside. They lost their tight end, Justin Rigg. I mean, this is troubling, particularly if you compound it with Chris Rodriguez. All this hype for Will Levis. Who in the hell is he going to get the ball to? Now, I know they got Tavion Robinson. Saw him in the spring game, the Virginia Tech transfer. He looks legit. He looks like he's going to be their go-to receiver. But you can't just do it with one guy. And they do have some talented players like true freshman Dane Key, redshirt freshman DeKale Crowdis. But again, Kentucky, you're not trying to go 8-4, 9-3 anymore. You're trying to break through and win the East. And you cannot do that, in my opinion, relying on true freshman receivers unless, maybe you're Alabama or Georgia and you're bringing in the number one receiver and they're surrounded by guys that have been standouts in the SEC for 2 or 3 years. It doesn't work that way. You can't bring in true freshmen, particularly the style of offense Kentucky's running, a pro-style, play-action-based system. It's very difficult for true freshmen to come in there and star at the SEC level right out the gate. So, man, this is some troubling news. I don't want to overreact to it, but this definitely has got to give you a hesitation. If you were thinking this could be the year that Kentucky could possibly win the SEC East, this isn't a death knell by any means. I mean, we've got some backups, Cavassier Smoke, McLean there at running back. We got some good players at running back. We've got some promising talent at receiver, but I don't know. I mean, these are two positions that they really needed to break through this year, and if I don't know, we're months away from the season. We're already getting We're already getting dinged here, particularly at the receiver position, which is just paramount that they need players to emerge. It ain't looking good right now there in Lexington.